All right, guys. So I want to make a video about my experience. 6 months social media free. So the past 6 months, I've been kind of living like a monk, and there was some profound benefits. And in this video, I'm going to break down the three surprising benefits of staying away from these apps like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, um, Snapchat and whatnot, scrolling on Reels. So all of that, I haven't been doing that for the last 6 months, and I'll tell you why. First of all, these apps, they are basically validation loops, um, where we go on that app for to seek those small, short-term dopamine, and that's what it really is at the end of the day. A lot of people will argue like, oh, there's so many good things on social media. It helps me stay productive, or I'm using it for work. There is benefits to it, but I haven't been on it for the last 6 months, and honestly, I don't see myself really going back on that. um, and I'll tell you why. So it drained my cognitive power. Being on social media, it just takes up that extra space in my head every single day that is unnecessary. Um, I sometimes find myself replaying other people's life in my head. I will see something and then I'll think about it, sometimes for days. Um, that's taking away attention. If you're really conscious of it, conscious of your energy, you're going to find that social media has a big impact on your energy. And lastly, I have big goals this year. That was one of the big driving factor, and goals that will require me to be present, focused, at all times. And social media is just not going to cut it. If I'm on social media, I will not get the work done that I need to, and I would not have the time. So those are four reasons why I quit. Now let's talk about the benefits. Number one, more peace. And the peace I'm talking about is just solitude. It's mental clarity, the type of peace where there's no noise. You're just there in silence. And for some people, I know it can drive you crazy, but you will find the peace in the silence where when you're away from the noise, less distraction, um, and you're just comparing yourself less. I find myself, living my own life, and I'm not watching what other people are doing. So I'm focused on myself at the end of the day, and that's one of the biggest benefits, in my opinion. Um, Mental clarity, guys. When you're on social media, you don't understand. You're seeing so many different things, random things, especially if you're scrolling on TikTok Reels. Every hour, even if you're doing that for 30 minutes, you'll see so many different things that it'll just clutter your brain, your mind, your focus, your thoughts. When you're not on social media, I find myself, my thoughts are more organized. It's less chaotic. I just feel like I'm more in control of my vibe, my energy. Intense focus power. um, yeah, staying away from social media, I'm able to just live in the real world, and just be focused and present. When I'm outside, when I'm in the subway, I'm not on my phone. I'm just in the moment, and I'm able to observe people around me. And I've had profound different thoughts. I've seen things that people would miss out on because they're on social media or scrolling, and just less anxiety in general. I feel like I can talk to people, human to human, have that conversation where I'm just like, it's one of those moments where it's hard to explain, but basically, I'm not rushing. I'm able to think before I speak, and I tend to speak a little bit slower when I'm having conversation with people in real life. And that's another thing, like social media. When you have have it in the back of your head, you'll like start rushing things and trying to get through your task, just so you can go on and get that validation, get that dopamine hit. So you'll be rushing to your day-to-day task, because you have that thing in the back of your mind. um, Number three, more time. this is the obvious one. Like when you're average person, I would say I think they spend around 1 to 3 hours on social media. That's extra hours that literally you can use. Like if you're working a full time job and you're on social media 3 hours a day apart from your job, you literally have nothing else like going on in your life. If you're scrolling on like TikTok outside of your work, that time you can use for real productivity. I use that time for gym, for my business, reading, just like making real strides in real life, in real world. And I know honestly, like sometimes, yeah, I do wish like I'm on like social media just to pass that like extra time of silence. But honestly, those like moment of silence, that's when you regain your energy, and regain real momentum instead of just wasting it on pointless TikToks. And then you also feel more alive. Um, by being alive, I mean just you're not like living digitally um, on the feed or on stories. Uh, you're literally in real life. You feel real emotions more. Um, and one of the things about social media, it just numbs your emotions. Just like all those music, inspirational TikTok, it just like takes a lot of emotions out of you. So you're able to feel more outside of it, and these feelings are real because y- y- it's not digital. Um, so those were the benefits. It's not like it's something I'm sure everybody would know, like if they were to quit social media, or it's not something that it would be out of norms. I think it's obvious like you'll get this type of benefit, but the truth is, not everybody wants to do it. So the number one thing is you don't just talk about it, you take action. And these are the actions that you need to take to, reclaim your attention and move away from social media. Number one, you remove access. Um, delete those apps. Like honestly, if you're gonna fail first few times, you might re-download it. Happened to me. Took me a long time to really um, master this and completely let it go. Um, but first thing is you got to remove access and take your mind off of it. Log out of those apps. Just delete those apps. You don't want to see it. If you don't want to delete them, just disable notification. Start building momentum. And then the most important thing is really find your why. Why do you want to quit social media? I'm sure most people want to do it because it sounds cool, I guess, to not be on social media, but you need a deeper reason, um, like a goal or something you're trying to work towards. Like you can't remove a habit; you gotta replace it. So you're replacing social media with something else, like maybe gym, writing, or something that will give you that dopamine replacement. The social media gives you a lot of dopamine, and that's why it's so hard for you to quit. So you got to replace it with uh, even like cold showers or going to the gym, going for runs, writing, um, working on something purposeful that's gonna give you long term fulfillment. That's gonna give you dopamine by like real um, accomplishment feelings. So you gotta find your why, substitute social media for something else. Find that goal of yours, and reinforce your goal by staying away from what kills your drive. Social media ultimately, I think long term it will kill your drive. Just because everything on there, I don't think it's real. It's like eating fake meat. Um, you're getting false sense of reality, and uh, sometimes there's good things on there. You'll learn some good stuff from the reels, but it's not worth it for the long term effect of it. I don't think. And being away from social media just makes my attention span just so much longer. I can actually like read a book. I can sit through a 1 hour podcast, and I can work towards my goal, do those boring tasks and activities that require you to be present for long term, without getting those instant reward. So those are real benefits of staying away from social media. um, so yeah, take those actions, start today, delete those apps, man, you don't need it. And work towards something that's actually going to feed you long term. And here's a quote: you only get one life, and if your attention is owned by an algorithm, then you don't really own your life. Quitting gave me the clarity to take control again, and that's what it is. You take control of your own attention, your life. So this video is longer than it should have been, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you take some actions. Yeah, stay away from socials.